Hello! I've been thinking about how to make challenges in Halls of Torment. Usually challenges include something along the lines of speedruns, but that's hardly possible considering each map will take 30 minutes anyway. So what I figured was, how about you make a challenge where you kill as few mobs as possible. I have no idea if it's possible to even clear the map without killing mobs. Obviously you need to kill the last boss, but before that all the mobs that give experience should not be killed. So your level should stay at 0. And well, your kills obviously should stay at 0. In the end you would only have 2 kills, I imagine, for the boss. One for his mount and one for himself, I guess. So I've been trying some runs, some different characters. At first I tried the cleric because of the massive single target damage. I imagined, like, if I would reach the last boss, then at least I would do some decent amount of damage. But then I checked out items and noticed the elven boots gives block chance based on moving, and the cleric really has a very low base defense or block value, block strength, whatever it's called. So the swordsman has a very high base defense and base block strength, so that combined with some more defensive items, and especially at the start, majority of mobs, they basically do no damage. You have a 100% chance to avoid damage up to 12, and then like a 50% chance to avoid damage up to 24, with like a 25% chance to avoid even more. Not entirely sure if that damage is based on before or after your defense negation. So yeah, I picked the swordsman. I did a few runs. The items I have, basically full defensive. I do have the lightning ring equipped, mainly for if I would, by some miracle, reach the last boss. I can still switch that to the revive ring to have another revive. That should definitely add some time. What I also tried in later runs is, before it gets too busy, you clear some of the boxes and you leave the items on the floor for later use. You do need to keep in mind that you want to remove all the item pickup range from your blessings, else you might smack them and directly pick them up. So yeah, some of the bosses have spawned now. They're actually really easy to avoid. Like, there's barely any danger in that. The danger really comes from the big packs that should just completely surround you. I did pick up the ingredients. I figured they are low level mobs, so they will barely do any damage, and there might be some kind of mob cap, so rather have earlier mobs than later mobs. Not entirely sure how that works, because sometimes it also seems that the waves, that new waves stop the old waves from spawning, but I don't really see any blobs here, and there definitely have been blob waves, considering, like, yeah, the second wave for one is blobs. Well, there's some blobs now, but I think that's just a new wave. Yeah, so bosses really not scary at all. The first few bosses are just super slow, so they will not even reach you. The third boss, that's this guy, I guess, the fat demon, does jump around a bit, but if you have a bit of a movement speed, just from the blessings, that's already enough to just avoid them completely. It's, I guess it should be sad, but you don't want to pick up any ability or you'll automatically do damage, because there's no ability that you, I mean, I guess technically, but you really don't want to pick up ability. That's just not gonna happen. The later bosses, what is it, the big skeleton, also relatively slow. They also get kind of stuck in the mobs. This guy jumps around, so he does free himself up a bit, but skeleton gets locked up, the lich gets locked up, basically all the mobs get locked up as well. There are some mobs that are more quickly than others, but if you kite them in circles, then they will get locked up in the other mobs, and they won't really reach you at all. I've also tried to run around pillars and stuff, but I think that hurt me more than them. They would group up bigger, and if they eventually got free, then it's just harder to actually avoid them. So yeah, almost halfway in, 15 minutes. At this point, it is still relatively easy to avoid the damage. Yeah, I do get hit a bit, but this has been after a few tries, so I'm sure I can do better in later tries. I did basically go all around the map, no idea, trying to find a pattern in how they spawn, see if there's a way to actually properly avoid 100% of them, because you do obviously see gaps in the waves. You just need to go from gap to gap. I'm just not entirely sure how they spawn, if it's random or if it's actually possible to avoid them fully. So at that point I am kinda getting hit occasionally because I have to pass through mobs to get back to an empty area. This is gonna get more and more, and at some point they just do more and more damage. You have to do it more and more often, and then it'll just start ticking away your revives. And the revive, I guess you do get like half your health back, so that's a good thing. So that gives you some extra time. So yeah, the revive ring, I can still equip that, because I'm pretty sure I still have one slot of actual useful ring. Also the necklace I'm wearing, I guess it is pretty nice for the end boss. It's the one where the lower in health you are, the more damage you do. Obviously useless for the run itself. I haven't seen a defensive neck yet, but I'm sure I haven't unlocked all items yet, so there might be. And that might be better, because by the time you're at the end boss, as long as you manage to actually avoid this damage, then you should be fine and you should kill it eventually. Any damage increase obviously will just be a bonus. Also, by the time you do get to the last boss, you could consider picking up the abilities, considering, I mean, I haven't set any rules or anything, but that would not be against the rules of killing as few mobs as possible, as in don't kill anything except for last boss. That was just my first revive, and you can see how much more often I do get hit now and have to go through the mobs to get to empty areas. I guess my second revive will be popped soon, and after that it's just a matter of time before it's completely over. Yeah, 60 health. I do have some decent health regen, but you have to not take damage for a long while to actually have it take some decent amount of damage. Yeah, you get half the health back, so that's just a bonus. Later on I did unlock the helm that increases your health like 12%, which means I would have had more time as well and more revive health, so they could have definitely added like a minute or two, but still then you're at like 25 minutes, which means you still need 5 minutes before you actually get to the boss, and then you still need to actually survive the boss. So yeah, that's my my challenge. If anyone's interested in trying, give it a go. Basically the only thing that matters is the only kills you can do is the last boss. Anything else and the run will be invalid. Let me know how far you get, if you actually get to the boss. Maybe you just beat my time, would love to hear it. You can join my Discord, it's in the description, or you can just comment on this video to let me know how you did. I'm really curious. Thanks for watching. Bye.